It was, huh?
I think
It's
so.
lime in there.
Mm-mm.
It's just water.
No, it's okay. I don't want any.
You got a you went first yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the last time we went, we didn't go yesterday.
Well, day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Situate you later. Into here. Anybody paying? I'm on. You want me to just go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I still didn't see one.
There it goes.
um. Well, welcome to another episode, I guess.
Um, episode. Yeah, I guess. I just call it welcome to another daily dose of loss.
Another episode of Daily Dose of DOS. First, my apologies about not going live yesterday. So we didn't get the daily dose because a whole lot of wind and rain and power being knocked out, and, trees falling and things of that nature. Hmm. Mother Nature. We had a lot going on yesterday. Storm down here in Georgia, which lasted all of what, 20 minutes?
No, the storm.
Yeah.
The storm is about a good maybe. Yeah, about 30, 40 minutes.
No, it wasn't even that long. I'm talking about like I mean
The
it
actual
rained. It
hard
rained that
rain.
long, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about the wind and lightning and thunder and all that hard rain. It was about 20 minutes. A lot of damage in 20 minutes though. A lot of damage.
Mm.
Anyway, let's move on. My daily dose of DOS
Mhm.
is compromise. When you compromise what you believe in, what you I guess what you hold dear, for the sake of just getting some things done, and we're learning this firsthand, by the way.
Mm.
Doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. Because if you compromise on one thing, you start to compromise on other things. And before you know it, whatever you thought you had going on is something totally different. Totally different. Let me give you a little background. I don't wanna normally I wouldn't give two shits. I would name names and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. Because I don't have to start punching people, things of that nature. Nah, no, I'm just saying I'm not gonna do it because some things are still ongoing, and this would be then I might really have to punch on people. But listen, anyway. So if you've ever, you know, actually know about me and my lovely wife here, P4R today, Color Only Cafe, Color Only Courtney, God of War. You know how we coming. Like there's no secret on a lot of things on how we feel and where we're at. But we did something about 3 months ago, 4 months ago,
Yeah, about 3 months ago.
about 3 months ago. We made a decision, and to compromise on what we were doing, just to get through, just to get some things done.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get anything done down here in this Athens area, though as though we felt anyway. That's how we felt. We couldn't get anything done. We kept hitting roadblocks because we didn't have an envelopian.
Yeah.
We didn't have an envelopian, on the team, and this was by design.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way we wanted it. This was by design, and what happened was we compromised that. We didn't bring not one, but a few in, and the face of our organization changed. Um, Changed dramatically. It it no longer looked like P4R. It looked like a hippie commune. That's what it looked like. You know, bandanas, sundresses, flower power, all that bullshit.
I like sundresses.
I like sundresses on you, but you know what I mean. But I'm saying this to say that I'm saying this to say that the face, it changed. It went from you know black empowerment to I don't even know what to equate that shit to. Um, a different strokes.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
That's what it went to.
Yeah.
That's what
It
it
went
went
from
to.
an HBCU to like, yeah,
Yeah,
um,
to to
yeah,
to, to UM.
maybe you will. Yeah.
You anyway, but we talking name change. We talking the direction in which we were going.
Yeah.
Um, I did have some reservations, but again, I pushed them to the side, and we moved forward. And it was the wrong thing to do. We see now it was the wrong thing to do, and now we are readjusting yet again. And the reason we compromised, and now I'm starting to see how and why past organizations, how they got infiltrated and watered down because they compromised. But I understand why they compromised. Like I said, we couldn't get anything done, and we were dealing with our own and fucked around and went homeless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like no, this is not an exaggeration. This is like, yo, we were living in my Nissan Altima.
Yeah.
Two kids, two teenage kids, big teenage kids at that. Um, kids in the back seat, me and the wife in the front, and we was thugging it out. Hotel rooms. But this is what, you know, dealing with just our own.
Yeah.
That's what it got us. And
Yeah.
we we didn't get any movement on our situation until there was a You know what?
Inclusion.
I let that because I'm about to go off in another direction, and I
Uh-huh.
want to come back. Anyway, there was no real movement on our movement until there was a Zoom call, or I don't know how you plugged into it.
It was through the well, I just thought it was best to say that there was no movement until there was inclusion.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, there was a phone call somewhere or something. Whatever. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it started with a phone call.
Okay. So this person seen a post. Went
That I
with it.
posted about intentional communities, and
Right.
had a link to P4R, and they reached back and said, "Hey, I've always wanted to do. Hey, guy, let me tell you something. Oh my gosh, y'all really coming in here tonight? Y'all must know what's.
No,
Y'all got
hold up,
y'all chair?
hold up. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Yes, y'all got y'all chairs. Bring your own chair. Y'all saw the message.
We don't want to go off on it. We want to.
Yeah, we're gonna still focus. I just wanted to see them as they came in to let them know that we know that they're in.
Okay.
So
wait, hold on. Let me go. Then you go ahead.
Okay.
So anyway, there was well, you can't do it like that. It's not gonna work. Whatever.
All right.
And up until that point, this person was right because it wasn't working. And then when you look,
and that it was that part that hurt.
Yeah,
that she was right.
She was right.
She was very right.
And when you look out through history or whatever, it doesn't work when it's just us. Either they burn it down, tear it down, or like is. But I don't even want to go all into that. That's another discussion for another time. We just talking specifically on this right now, right? So even though I had reservations, my wife too, we were seeing the other side because now there was movement where there was no movement at all. It was just a bunch of empty promises. And like I said, just messing with just us, we fucked around and went homeless. We went homeless.
For real.
Yeah. So, bang bang hotel. So we so we made that compromise. And again, it was the wrong thing to do. I'm gonna tell you why. Because with that decision that we made, that inclusion thing, we gave up on our own. We gave up on our own people. And I'm gonna say this. I'll fucking go homeless again before I ever go down that road again.
That's strong.
I don't give a fuck if I gotta pitch a tent, if I gotta literally chop down some trees and build a fucking log cabin before I go down that road again. I'll live in that fucking I live in that Nissan now.
But you probably that's the only thing we can do is live.
Actually, that's the only thing we can do in that road. But now I can drive it to a spot and leave it there. Then we can, we got the, we can maneuver like that. Anyway, but I'll fucking go homeless again before I ever go down that road again.
Yeah.
And I owe my people an apology. You know why? Because I know that we are not totally lost. And I know that there is some like-minded people out there. And eventually we will catch up with y'all. Y'all will catch up with us. But before I ever go down that road again with these pasty motherfuckers. Envelopians, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Before I go down that road again, I'll go homeless out this bitch again. Because it was ridiculous. Like we had a point now where we dealing with slander.
Yeah.
We dealing with we dealt not anymore, but we was dealing with blatant disrespect, and because of the color of their skin, it made, especially in Georgia, you can't, especially me, being a big black guy, big angry black guy. You got to be extremely careful on what you do, what you say, and how you approach certain situations. And to admit it, a little difficult to maneuver. Definitely happy Black August. Oh, that's you.
Yes,
Yeah.
me. I'm
So
gonna put that up on the screen. Thank you so much. That's right. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys.
so with that being said, like I said, I'm for what y'all into, what you're doing. Don't fucking compromise. Not for them. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's been the downfall of every organization in the history of our organizations is inclusion.
Yeah.
And bringing these fucking people in, man.
Yeah.
And but the good thing is we caught it in time. We caught it. We caught it.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We caught it in time. And a lot of our organizations and a lot of our leaders, so-called leaders, they didn't catch it in time. By the time they caught it, it was too late, and there's nothing they could do about it except for fold.
Yeah.
We ain't folding. And the P4R name still clean, still good, and that has not been compromised. Know that. Gabby, what you got?
So I just wanted to contribute to the piggyback on that a little bit. So all right, so I think for one, just with that being the topic of compromise and speaking on whether compromise is when compromise is appropriate, when it's good, because of course when you talk about in relationships, especially friendships and intimate relationships, compromise is always touted as necessary in order to see progress. So I just wanted to address that this is, I think, why I wasn't as opposed to compromising, because I felt like, okay, this is something that we ask of each other. We may have ways that we would like to go about certain things, but that's not really how each other kind of do it. So, um, truth in that is, I think that's why I wasn't as opposed to it as to the compromising. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of point out that ancestors will never lead you wrong. Ancestors are they angels, absolutely. Like that Chance to rap a song, "Angels," my favorite song by him, if not my favorite song by him. But literally, a situation happened with the storm that made it possible to handle it immediately.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, you know what, y'all, this Black August is shaping up to be literally the most powerful Black August that I have experienced. And I just celebrated a birthday in July, but thanks to brother God, Palmetto Star, I've been acknowledging and celebrating and rocking on a Black August and understanding the significance of that for maybe about the past 6 years or so, 6 or 7 years. Though, of course, learning through, different avenues that Black August has traditionally and organically been a time of resistance and revolution for our people. Because again, this first ship that sets place in America, in Virginia, was August 1619. So it's like this is a reminder every August that this is what we rising about. This is what we fighting about. So when we look at what's happening in Africa, with Russia, and we look at what just happened in Montgomery, bring your own chair, y'all. And again, what's going to be happening? We are having the camp and cookout on Labor Day weekend right here at our property, y'all. So make sure y'all make your way on over. Make your way on over. But this is the truth. This is absolutely the truth. The ancestors are talking and they're speaking, and we have no choice but to listen. I literally reached out to a spiritual advisor today and said, "Hey, I want to, figure out how to get these envelopians off the property." They were invited in, but they never were asked to pay anything. They were just asked to work and help build up the nonprofit. But the disrespect happened, the slander happened, and even before that happened, it was already established that they had to go. But we were trying not to do the force out because with the force out, we know what happens when you force somebody out. There can be some pushback, and now they have cause to have their own resistance and their own rising. So I really just was trying to play it civilly. I didn't even want to do the courts, y'all, because no property around here is in their name. But again, they got the complexion for the protection. So I didn't even want to play the court system because I was just like, even getting them involved seemed like it might be too much. But uh, today, like I said, reached out to a spiritual advisor, and then within an hour, just everything culminated and kind of it played itself out the way it was supposed to. So I learned a lot also from that compromising season. But again, like I said, I don't know how I feel about just shunning um, compromising in general because I think that that's necessary in our relationships.
You know
So
what? Yeah, I should. Yeah, because I just said compromise, bro. I should have
yeah,
been a little more specific. Um, I mean, obviously, you compromise what you want me to compromise with loved ones, whatever, whatever. What I'm talking about is when it comes to the envelopes, when it comes to inclusion, when it comes to letting them in. This is what I'm talking about. When it comes to letting them in, yeah, it I'm
it
starting to
there
feel
just
like
hasn't been a time where I've seen it end well,
yeah,
and I thought this would be different because I thought it was understood our, you know, our initiative and our mission. And not only was it not completely understood, but it wasn't respected.
at all,
It wasn't
at
respected. It
all.
was like, y'all, I don't believe in that. Like, so how are you going to be a part of this if you don't believe in it?
Yeah,
So yeah.
and it's you know what I heard Umar Johnson say. So he was asked a question. I
Mm.
think it was on Hidden Colors,
Billy, stand up.
and he was asked basically roundabout way. What's the solution?
Hmm.
And I don't think I've ever been in so much agreement with him than these past couple of months, or this last month or so, because that's when all this bullshit started. This last month or so, well, I'm talking complete and total separation.
Yeah, he said that.
Complete and total separation. The first time I heard him say it, I was like, well, I mean, some of them do make good spaghetti, you know, stuff like that. But he was right. He was right. Total and complete separation. Because they I don't care how much they march with us. I don't care how much they so-called stand with us. As long as we are beneath them, they're good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Forget surpassed. They don't even want to be
They don't
equal.
want to be equal.
They don't even
They
want to
don't
be
even
equal.
want you to be
As long as
equal.
they're here
Yeah, in
and we're
some type of
underneath,
way. In some type of way. Yeah, yeah. If y'all are both working at the same job, as long as they have a little bit more hours, so they make a little bit more money, they're good. As long as y'all are working the same job, but you live worse than them, they're good. But let's be very clear also. If you're working with I think it's a six out of 10 chance that you're working beneath. Most managers, most supervisors are not going to be reflective of melanated people. It's just not. You're talking about 70%. And then when you get into property and home ownership, even higher. So we have to stop pretending like, oh no, we live in the same neighborhoods. Oh, he said to accept his friend request on will do. I'm putting that on post right now. He's gonna hit it up right now. On Facebook and TikTok. Guy was the one that we were supposed to meet with at in New York. Remember? And we didn't have because we weren't going to be back over in the area where the Brooklyn what's names play. Where the Brooklyn where Brooklyn plays.
The Nets.
Yeah, remember what's it called? The
Barclays.
Barclays. Yeah, remember I showed you. I said, oh yeah, that's where and I think it was the same day that the Beyonce tickets went on sale. It was a big long line out there. Yeah, so guys from New York.
I remember the day. I just don't remember the. You said Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook and TikTok. So, oh, Guy, I wanted to tell
TikTok,
you that your
what's the name?
I posted your story with Mitch McConnell on my TikTok, and man, that's the most views I ever got on a story. It was crazy. I was thinking, because okay, we have put hubby did the edits, and I put the video of the Montgomery Brawl to Small Town by John Cougar Mellencamp. Yeah, and so I thought they had because all of these notices were coming in, but they were all coming in for the story that I put up. The story that I shared that was from his post. I shared it to my story, and all of these notifications were coming in for. I think I got like 27 notifications, and there were people actually they were leaving comments. When usually I do a story, they don't leave comments; they just like it and they keep it pushing. So I was like, dang! But because it was more than 24 hours, I couldn't respond back to it. So I couldn't reply. So I just put up another post and again inviting all of those who would like to attend to the colored only camp and cookout coming up Labor Day weekend. And y'all, let me put a disclaimer on by saying this. So the first day that we broadcast that this cookout was happening, there were about 10 free tickets. I want to be very honest, and like I said, I'm giving a disclaimer that only 2 of those free tickets were picked up by melanated people. The other tickets were picked up by, envelopians, yes, white people. And that is where it is. All of those tickets are gone. However, there are more tickets that are still available. And then if you want to just do the cookout as well, that's that Saturday. So, but if you want to camp out, you want to cook out, that's totally welcome and open. And let me be very clear also with the type of work that I'm in and what I do. I have never been in a position of thinking, honestly, I never thought that this is something that would be totally only, that I would only be doing something for just us. Because I think up until this point, I never really understood or appreciated the full need for not just keeping things totally us, but also you understand when even when we went to Freedom, there were not, there were others there. And then we go to New Black Wall Street Market. There are others there. So I never thought of just totally keeping something that is 100% because, I'm like, I want to be very honest and clear. I'm like the same with everybody. Green is, we're in business and everybody can spend and we should make it that way, right? That everybody can spend. So this was this event was advertised prior to the Montgomery Brawl too. But again, anybody that knows me, knows my husband, knows us, knows my mission, I'm very, very, I'm very supportive and very Black empowerment. Like that's what I'm on. But I really thought that, okay, with the camp out, with having it, free, I honestly was not expecting it to be so aggressively picked up by anyone other than us. I thought that we would jump at something, that was a collaborative effort, a village event, and I thought there would be some appreciation for it. But I guess, um, it's just taken a while to circulate. Like there's been some interest that has picked up, and I'm getting more people viewing the page, but not necessarily picking up a ticket. But there are more people viewing the page, so we want to definitely translate that to actual purchases. I'm gonna be very honest. It's really hard for me, y'all, to it's really hard for me to understand how we can have so much, and I know the answer. But like you said in the live with Palmetto on the show on Thursday, the answer comes quick, but it's complicated.
Oh,
It's a
it's an easy question to answer,
it's an easy
but a
question to answer, but it's
complicated answer.
complicated, right? I know where we're coming. I know that it is, we will celebrate these things. We all get celebratory, but then we all still will go right back to work. And nine times, well, like I said, six, 7 times out of 10, either you're working for or working beneath someone that is not resembling you. And then, so we don't support our Black businesses. We don't, and we're quick to go to Walmart, and we're quick to trump up Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. And then, like I said, it does hurt, especially if you're a business owner, when you put out something and you're like, okay, this is something that we're inviting you to, something that's free, just like come and build and just show up. And the interest is just not there. The interest is not there. Like, I don't know what that is. And that does get to me. That does get to me. And then it's like the people that do show up is them. When it's free, when you say free, they're gonna show up.
Let me see something about that show.
Yeah.
Listen, you gotta put me Didi that day I made that delivery to old boy, and he had to give me the code, and I was like, yeah, we go to you.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Okay, so I was just being me. Not really noticing it. But we say and do things around them, and it's just us being us. And they jacking our shit. So these events, what they do is they come to them, under the flag of friendship and what is it, nice racism?
Yeah, nice racism.
Nice racism. And like, yeah, bro, I'm with you. Fuck the man. FTP. All that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing goddamn well shit get hot and heavy. They going back to the suburbs and they condos, wherever the fuck they came from. But what they do, and this is how they infiltrate, they learn our lingo, they learn our mannerisms, our handshakes, and then, next thing you know, there's a whole commercial about some shit that you didn't say at one of these events because they done did it and ran it around their little neighborhoods, and now it's commercialized. This is how you get Cap on a commercial, bussing on commercials.
Yeah, but then, like I said, we need to also address the fact that we continue to support that too.
Yeah, we do.
Like I said, I love Brother God again, Palmetto, always dropping jewels. He was just like, he's like, I don't worry when they tell me, oh, it's spam, or you advertise too much, or you contact me too much. He said, because they ain't calling nothing on McDonald's, and McDonald's will run their commercials all day and night. You're not calling on Starbucks. You're not calling on Taco Bell. He was like, who the F eats at Taco Bell? But you ain't calling it on them. He was like, we don't really eat there. We work there.
A lot of people eat at Taco Bell.
A lot of people will. I think a lot of us work there, but I don't think a lot of us necessarily we think of going to eat there. But when we see those commercials,
come out of Taco Bell, you know that. You've seen it.
I've seen it, but I don't necessarily see that be from us. Like,
you talking about from us?
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, we work there.
That a couple of times.
That's what I'm saying. We work there, and even us when we ate it, it was because like the people
It
that
was
fell
free.
asleep. Yeah, they fell asleep
That shit was free.
on that big order.
I think that was the one they was on the couch. I'm looking at them. They laying there sleep on the couch. I'm ringing the bell. Was
No,
that
we
one?
weren't together. Nah,
Oh, I ain't
we
tell you
weren't
about
together
that
on
one.
that one. No.
Crazy.
This one was the one like you were
Crazy.
literally was outside, and it took an hour for it to even get over, and it was late. So you were like, we were waiting outside, and they just
probably fell
never came.
asleep.
Yeah,
They
we just said they
said,
probably
yeah.
can't fell asleep, but we didn't know. But yeah, like we work there, but we don't really eat that. But and they have all types of commercials, and they send all types of ads, and they have all types of pop-ups on these social medias. And are you reporting Taco Bell? Probably not. So that's what gets me is the lack of support, because up and down my timeline, I definitely it's all Facebook, it's all TikTok, it's all Instagram, and we're talking about this Montgomery brawl, and we love it, we love it, we love it. And I even saw the Hungry Black Man, who I'm familiar with from Miami. He's going to have a little tour in Montgomery, the 5th through the 13th, I think, something like that, or the 9th through the 13th, something like that. So he's getting together all the spots, and people are they're responding to it. But I want to know how many people really going to show up for that. Or how many of us are just going to be like, oh, that's cool, because somebody was saying, oh, this is going to be, this is the August to remember. And I'm just like, okay, well, we already have, it's Black August. It's Black August. There are a few events that are going on this month in Atlanta. And then of course the camp out closes out the month of August. But this all just still feeds back to when, again, like what my husband said earlier, like we were totally relying, thinking that we could rely on us to help us with closing on this plantation property. And it blows my mind to this day how, and we still have the contract. We still have the contract, and it's still on the market. And we have to look at this, all the time, and just know that it was so many people that supported. And I think on one Instagram story, not story but post, there were 13,000 views. 13,000 views. And you couldn't put
Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Have you?
But you couldn't
For you?
yeah, it was when it was the first day that I went live on TikTok, that I had enough followers to go live.
Oh.
But I'm saying we didn't raise. I will say this though, and I will always have to say this, and I always have to say thank you about this. But the only Black person that raised or put together more than $1,000 was Queen, and she did it through her network. She put together four. She put together $4,000 through her network. But individually, and again, that's not to shame us, but this is just the honesty of it.
No, sometimes
it's the honesty of
I
it.
remember told you the greatest motivator is shame.
But this is the honesty of it. The most that came out after that but like I said, she did through her network, and she put together about 4,000, but it was 1,400 people. $4,000 came through from her. But it was a content creator that literally by himself put up $1,000. Like most, what came after that, one person, they gave about 500, and then after that it was maybe 50s here, it was 100 here, that sort of thing. But there were so many, and I mean too many conversations to count, where so many people told us, I'm going to help you do this, and they literally never even gave $1, not 1 cent, not 1 cent. But they said, I'm going to help you do this. They never put it on their page. They just they allow opportunities to kind of share with certain networks and that sort of thing. They never just follow through. They never follow through on these things.
And you know what? Right on point. Right on point. Yeah. Oh man, I'll take it down. Okay, there it is. My bad. Well, really? Well, she didn't get sad right there. But listen, she's saying not to shame them. No, they need to be shamed. We need to be embarrassed. We need to be ashamed of these things. And look,
Well, we about done anyway.
oh,
Right there.
all right, we back. We had some technical difficulties right there.
Technical difficulties.
My bad. But now we need to be shamed. We need to be embarrassed. All those things. We do. And Ice Cube was right. Won't beat down the black people want to run around and like, yo, we won. No, we ain't win shit. We ain't win shit. Because notice, like, yeah, it felt good to see that. And yeah, we rah-rah. But yo, them dudes is going to jail. Them dudes that threw them punches, all them dudes they put in cuffs, they going to jail. Now, you gotta ask yourself, was it worth going to jail for? I believe it was. Because I don't think they're gonna do any real time. Because it's just too much publicity behind it, and depending on how it flows. But them guys went to jail. Now, back to the embarrassing part. We should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
We should be because, and not just speaking from our experience or our movement or the P4R movement, but there are multiple movements out there, just movements, righteous movements, and we don't support them. You can go all the way from the top. Wait, where's my hand? There it is. All the way from the top. All these celebrities and all these dudes, these guys don't show up unless it's a check involved. We ain't got the check to give them, so they don't come through. They don't mention it. They don't say nothing. And then by the time it gets down to grassroots, we just don't have the funds to fund these movements.
Yeah.
And then eventually what happens, these movements, they die by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Panthers had a couple high profile donors.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the black
Jane Fonda being one of them. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the white brother name.
Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda, who went on to marry Ted Turner, one of the biggest media conglomerates and exploiters. But yes, Jane Fonda was a big fan of Black Panthers.
But for the most part, that movement was funded by by nickels and dimes and quarters and pennies from the Black community and whatever. And then he went on, I think it was Berkeley, one of them campuses. They were selling the all the war books.
Yeah,
I think it was Berkeley. You know
what
I'm saying?
That's right.
Nickels and dimes, pennies, quarters. That's how that movement, got started. That's how it was maintained. It wasn't, which is also why they one of the reasons the black man in America was economically castrated. Because those professionals, they had that extra cash to throw that way. Like, hey, yo, here you go $20. He go, back then $20 was a long way. Right now, you can't even get a full tank of gas with $20. Ain't gonna best.
You better go get them.
This one, we want me to look at the whole thing?
Just look at that last message.
In the blue?
Yep. That's it.
Wow. He bugging. What's wrong with him? See, this is why I ain't say no names. This is why I can't have no names, because like things is ongoing. This shit is getting crazy. Oh. Like I don't see, like what the fuck, like what's wrong? What was I just talking about?
About being shamed into not helping us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like listen. At no point in time should we ever not want to help each other. Like I don't understand why. No, let me rephrase. I understand. I know why it doesn't happen. We've just been conditioned this way, and over centuries and generations of systematic beatdowns and all this stuff, and just making it flat out illegal to congregate. So we just don't do it. We don't even know why, for the most part. If you're not really paying attention, like you don't know why. But anyway. So yeah, we should shame every last one of them. We should. They should be embarrassed.
But they won't though.
Yeah, I know.
They're not, because these are some of the same people. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I keep it a bean.
Through my whole train of
I
thought
remember.
right
I know, right? Come on. During the Eric Garner tragedy, when the trial came and the decision was made and the officers were found not guilty, there was an emergency town hall in a place in Miami called Miami Gardens. Miami Gardens is, if anybody would care to look it up, it's a predominantly black. It's like a black suburb that they actually turned into its own city. It's phenomenal when you think about it. It had a black mayor at the time. I think they still do. I think it's still the same mayor, if I'm not mistaken. At any rate, they became incorporated, and like I said, it's kind of like a series of black suburbs and communities that they just turned into its own city.
I'll be right back. You got this?
Yeah. And so what happened was the person who organized it and actually was a part of the same institute where the Hungry Black Man does actually come from. She literally said, well, if we do a boycott, we can't do Walmart and we can't do the hair stores or Chinese stores, because what am I going to do? And I was there with a friend of mine, and he had his girlfriend there, and I said, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, because we aren't serious. We aren't serious. And so this is the kind of like, it's likening up a little bit of that same thing. And that's what I'm feeling in regards to the with the Montgomery brawl. We're posting memes, and we got jokes, and we got these, we're on the phones, we got all of these cute little responses and videos. But when I say, okay, now let's harness that. Let's really get free. Let's stop paying rent. Let's stop going to these jobs. Let's set up an economically empowering revolution, and then be ready to back that up with physical action. Girl, you crazy. Crickets. Like literally no reaction to those posts. None. But we love to jump on a joke. But we laughing all the way back to the same jobs. We laughing back to the same jobs, and then we're setting up to pay the same rent, to keep renting. And then from paying the same rent and what we got left over, we're heading on over to Walmart, the hair store.
Wait, did I say that right?
It's just Polynesian. And then we're headed over there, and we're still spending the money with them. And you still riding right past Colored Only Cafe. You're still not taking. I have a friend, and a dear friend, and literally we've known each other for maybe about 3 or 4 years. She's come to the plantation. She's pledged a lot of help. She wants to help. She wants to move into the plant. She wants to do all of this stuff to assist. But then at the end of the day, has she ever given over? Ever said, "Hey, Courtney, I'm gonna put up. I'm gonna put up 1,000." No, Courtney, I'm gonna go ahead and let's just go ahead and go in on it. No, Courtney, I'm gonna come and move there, and we gonna build. No. So we say this, but then we are not willing to really commit the effort. Excuse me. So that is, I'm not gonna even, y'all, that frustrating, because we really we really we've set ourselves up to be online, to be these online warriors, these keyboard vigilantes, these, social media. We're bringing all the mayhem. But really, when it's time for us to back that with our actions, with more than being on social media, and like I put on Facebook, honey, I know for a fact I'm married to one that he wouldn't have been on there just recording on the camera. He would have been. He could swim too, baby. He would have been over there actually laying some hams. I know I'm married to one. Now I might not have been. Uh, I might not have been, but I know he would have. I know he would have. And shout out to the queens that were getting busy. Somebody said that. Somebody said, "Oh, the men were in there just tussling and throwing down." I said, "Oh, I saw some women stomping too now. Some women were bringing the knuck if you buck out also now. They weren't playing, especially one. I saw one with a blonde ponytail. And I said, all she probably had to do was just go home. This is when Sister C, this is where I can't get away with it, y'all, because y'all, I don't do the weaves, I don't do the wigs. But these sisters that be those quick change artists with that hair, honey, as long as she done changed her hair the next day, ain't no way they're gonna catch up. Because that it was so distinctive. And as long as she come back the next day with something like this, or a little blonde bob, or maybe even a little burgundy bob, honey, they ain't no, that's her. They're not gonna know that's her. But honey, she was letting fists fly. She was landing feet, elbows. She was getting with it before that chair even came over to hit that sister in red, honey. She had already laid her out. She had already laid her out and set her down twice, twice. But that's my gripe. That's my gripe. I just want us to be honest. And if you're not the one to ever follow up, and you can't even nobody, and y'all, let me tell y'all another thing too. There is more to us in cooking than these soul food places and spaces. I'm not hating y'all. I'm not, but especially with coming from Atlanta, we know that there's more to it than that, y'all. But there is. Okay, yes, I get it. Yes, we like our food. With we like our food fried. Okay, we like it cheesy. Okay, but y'all, there is more to us than that. There's more to our culture than that as the contribution. Even though mac and cheese was created by one of our very own and then stolen by Thomas Jefferson's preceding chefs, because James Hemings did unalive himself. He was Sally Hemings' brother. And I would suggest that Sally Hemings was not the only one that was a victim of Thomas Jefferson. If you know, then you know. Okay. Okay, because these demons were unapologetic about utilizing, exploiting, and absolutely desecrating every part of our bodies, all men and women. If you know, you know. Okay, so this young gentleman unalived himself in his 30s, and his recipes, including the French fries and the macaroni and cheese, continued to be actually exploited and changed and rewritten and revised by the preceding chefs, and then this is how it made its way all the way kind of back around and out of our hands, and then became a part of the menus for restaurants that now wouldn't even serve us. French fries, the gall. So at Colored Only Cafe, we honor James Hemings, and that's what we call them. We call French fries Heming strips, and we call mac and cheese. We call it well, I do mac and cheese pockets, but it's called Heming soul pockets. Okay. So we do things to honor not just the cuisine but the culture at Colored Only Cafe, and that's something that we will continue to be unapologetic about and continue to do. But yes, do we serve everyone? We serve everyone. Okay, but at the end of the day, I serve no man. I'm serving God. I'm serving God. Absolutely. So, but absolutely, everyone is allowed to patronize a colored only cafe, and that is not a place where I discriminate. And I don't feel like that's compromising my clientele. That's again giving people opportunity to have history along with their nutrients. Okay, and there is more to our history than fried chicken and collard greens. And I cannot wait, but coming very soon, I'm going to be unveiling an exclusive recipe from literally my mom's hands to y'all table. So even though she's been going from this realm for 27 years, I am deciding to make a stab at one of her most prized menu contributions for many, many holidays, and they were awesome. And I think that you know we should all have an opportunity to indulge. So I do hope that again you'll have some opportunity to or you'll have the chance to come on down to Athens, Georgia and experience some of this because I do not franchise. I'm not interested in franchising. I'm not interested in setting up a spot and all of these. I'm not interested in going commercial. I am Colored Only Cafe is not something I ever intended on going commercial. I never want to be a slave to the stove. I don't. I want to do it because I love it and I want to continue to do it. So we are going to be closing down. Hubby had to take a call, but we're going to be closing down soon. I did have something that I wanted to share, but I do realize too that really hubby and I have not had a chance to kind of sit down and decompress since everything has transpired with the storm yesterday, y'all. We were without power for almost 24 hours, and there was a lot that has happened in these 24 hours that we have to regroup from. There were meetings that weren't able to be made. There was our complete, I want to say, our complete arsenal as far as food, had to be thrown out. Our transportation, which is my husband's car, is totally out of commission. A tree fell on it. So, y'all, we've got to figure out some things for the remainder of this week, as well as how we're approaching the rest of this month with being able to, make some connections and pull some things off without having to, without having to, you know, um, just be uh, kind of so much behind the eight ball economically. So some things we're gonna have to lighten the load on so we can get to the end of this month and be able to regroup a bit after the cookout. So with that being said, y'all, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Guy, it was so good seeing you again. KW Don, you already know. Sir Anthony, salute. Salute, Sir Anthony. And anyone who's watching the playback, thank you so much. And if you want to hit us up, please make sure you visit P4R.today. And like I said, if you are interested in coming to the camp and cookout on Labor Day weekend here in Athens, Georgia, make sure you click that link on P4R.today. Make sure you scroll on down and you can see the complete itinerary as we do have the little advertisement up in one of the main articles on the front page, on the low page of P4R. The information can also be found on coloredonly.cafe. However, it's a little deeper. It's a little deeper into that page. You have to go on to the the community, no, the culture page. You have to go on the culture page to find out that information. I'm just gonna put this right up here so you can have that information also. But tomorrow, y'all, we're gonna try to do this at our usual time, which is 5 o'clock. Or we could probably do it in the morning too, because we're gonna be at the house for a couple of days. So y'all gonna get a lot of daily doses of DOS. So it's gonna be like how it was during COVID, y'all, when y'all know you were just sitting there and tuning into lives all day. That's gonna be us tomorrow, but we're gonna be making them. So the other link is up there, but if you go on coloredonly.cafe, you're going to need to go to the culture page to find you're going to need to go to the culture page to find the itinerary for the Labor Day weekend events. So y'all, and just to let you know, it does open with a wonderful sound bath display put on to serenade the last full moon of the year, which will be a blue moon. So that will be happening literally. It's going to be very early. It's going to be very early in the morning. And then we'll go ahead and open up camp. So these are people that if you have your own tent, you can bring them, and your chair. Bring your own chair. Okay. Um, because we do have some chairs, but bring your own chair. And if you have a tent, you're welcome to bring it, but you do need to signify that or acknowledge that on the site. And if you don't have a tent, you can purchase a ticket that will include a tent cost, and we will purchase and store your tent for you. So that means every time you come to camp, you can either pick your tent up, or you can take it with you after the camp closes and you wrap up on this particular visit. But either way, definitely come on out and enjoy. And then if you just want to come for the camp out that Saturday, please, it's a mere $5. And right now you can name your own price for your ticket. You can name your own price for your ticket for that Saturday. So please continue to, and there's only a few of those tickets left. So please continue to engage with us. Let's build, let's tribe, let's vibe, let's rise. Until next time, in a daily dose of DOS. See y'all.